President Donald Trump was no stranger to brash moves, but this day stood apart. A weathered envelope had landed on his desk, scrawled by hand from a dirt road farmer named Tom Carver, asking him to see his failing operation firsthand. Most would have tossed it aside. Trump didn't. He said yes. When the presidential motorcade rumbled onto Carver's land, Secret Service scanned the horizon, tense as always. Tom, a fourth-generation grower with a sun-creased face, brushed his calloused palms on his jeans and offered a grip like iron. "Mr. President, thanks for showing up. I'm not here to kiss rings." Trump grinned. "Wouldn't want you to, Tom." No preamble, no fluff. Tom cut straight to it. "Sir, folks in suits promise the moon, but we're sinking. Crop prices tank, equipment costs soar. You here to hear me out or just preach?" Trump cocked his head. "I've got ears, Tom. Farmers matter. Change is an instant, though." Tom snorted. "Instant? We're out of years. Soil's dying, debts are choking us, and conglomerates snatch up what's left." Trump folded his arms. "I've backed farmers more than most ever did." Tom didn't flinch. "Then why's my barn still half empty?" The air thickened. Agents shifted, bracing for a blowout. Then Tom's wife Ellen stepped in, voice steady. "Gentlemen, let's take this inside." In their plain kitchen, Tom jerked a thumb at a near-bare pantry. "We feed half the county, Mr. President, but our own shelves are a joke." Trump's brow furrowed. "What's holding you back?" Tom leaned in, eyes hard. "Big outfits. They gobble up land, rig prices, and leave us for dead." Trump drummed his fingers. "That's the market at work." Tom's fist tightened. "There's a line between fighting fair and getting buried." Ellen slid a slab of fresh-baked sourdough his way. "Taste what broke America's got left, Mr. President." Trump bit in, nodded. "Solid." Ellen's smile was thin. "We hawk it at the co-op. Barely covers gas." Tom exhaled. "This isn't a gig, sir. It's our blood. Our boys should get this dirt, not a foreclosure notice." Trump glanced around. Faded curtains, a sagging chair, a kid's drawing tacked to the wall. No podiums, no crowds, just the gut of the nation. He stayed quiet, listening. Tom stood. "Come see something." Outside, he thrust out his hands, rough, scarred, caked with earth. "These hauled hay before I could shave. Same as my old man and his. Hard work's all I've got." Trump studied them, then met his gaze. "It shows," Tom pressed. "But grit's not cutting it anymore." Trump let out a breath. "What do you need from me?" Tom didn't blink. "Not pity, not sound bites. Laws that shield us, not just the fat cats. We're the spine of this place." Trump smirked. "You ever run a harvester?" Trump laughed. "Not since forever." Tom waved him to a rusty combine. "Get up there." Trump paused, then hauled himself in. Tom tossed him the keys. "This keeps America eating." Trump eased the machine forward, hands stiff on the controls. It bucked and groaned. Tom leaned close. "Not a game, sir. This is us." Trump's jaw tightened, a flicker of something new in his eyes. "I'm catching on." They walked back, Tom swiping sweat from his neck. "We're not slackers, we don't beg. But banks redline us while the giants get golden parachutes." Trump scowled. "I'm for open trade." Tom shook his head. "Open's fine. Crooked isn't." Trump took in the sprawling rows, the patched-up shed, the sheer grind of it all. Numbers turned into faces. Ellen approached. "Stay for supper, Mr. President." Trump blinked. His handlers would hate it, but he shrugged. "Sure." Tom grinned. "Blunt as we are, we cook decent." Inside, Ellen set down a spread. Roast pork, boiled carrots, that sourdough. Tom smirked. "No caviar here." Trump dug in. "Beats it." Ellen sat. "Grown and cooked by hands that can't catch a break." Tom leaned forward. You've heard us, sir. What's next when you roll out? Trump lowered his fork. I don't let talks like this slip. Tom eyed him. Hope so. Something hung in the room. A shift, maybe. After Tom tapped the table. We're losing ground to corporate sharks. They choke the market and we're collateral. Trump nodded. So fix it how? Tom didn't hesitate. Real safeguards. Trade that doesn't bleed us dry. Ellen added, it's not data, sir. It's lives. Roots Trump looked around again, the weight of it sinking in. As they finished, Tom crossed his arms. Well, Trump stood. I don't do hollow vows. Tom smirked. We don't buy 'em anyway. Trump offered a hand. I'll move on this. Tom gripped it, firm. Show it. Trump stepped out, glancing back at the endless acres. It wasn't just a stump speech now. It was real. 3 weeks later, Tom was wrestling a gate when his phone buzzed. Tom, it's Donald Trump. Tom nearly fumbled it. Sir? Trump's voice crackled. I didn't ditch you. Wheels are turning. Tom's pulse kicked. What's that mean? Watch. A month on, Tom hunched in his pickup, radio blaring. Breaking news. President Trump signs an order to shield small farmers from corporate overreach. Tom's breath caught. Ellen bolted out. You hear that? Tom climbed out stunned. He pulled it off. Farmers nationwide reeled. A leader had heard them. Tom, never one for blind faith, felt the ground shift. One day soon after, a dark SUV crunched up the drive. An agent stepped out. Mr. Carver, the president's here. Tom froze. Trump emerged, hand out. Said I'd deliver. Tom grinned. I'll give you that. Inside, Ellen asked, what's this visit for? Trump sat. I want more. There's still ground to cover. Tom, speechless, led him out to the fields. What else? Roads that don't crumble, water systems that work, gear we can afford. Trump nodded. Noted. We'll do it. Tom squinted. For real? Trump smirked. You know I don't bluff. News crews descended. Why's he back? One asked. Tom shrugged. He gives a damn. Skeptics sneered. Photo op, they said. Tom disagreed. He showed up twice. That's more than talk. Farmers called from every corner. Tom, you got through to him. He laughed. Just yelled loud enough. Trump rang again. You're a symbol now, Tom. Tom bristled. I'm no poster boy. Trump chuckled. Too late. Tom didn't chase spotlight, but if it lifted farmers, he'd take it. Months later, he stood in D.C., boots scuffing marble, facing suits. Trump said, Tom, tell him straight. Tom did. Fix the backbone, or the body falls. Policies rolled out, slow but real. Back home, Ellen watched their kids chase through the rows. You shifted it, Tom. He shook his head. We did. From one gritty talk, a ripple had grown. Farmers weren't invisible anymore. And it all sparked from a single letter Trump bothered to open.